Need to bring back being professional. And I'm mostly talking to the younger Gen Z crowd. And I know I probably look like I'm a part of that. I'm actually almost 27, if you would believe it or not. But I've been talking about this with many people recently, people that I work for, friends of mine, whatever. There's so many problems with the younger generation coming into this professional field, any professional field, really. Like the way they format emails. You guys are emailing like it's a text. Emails need to be professional. They need to have a subject, an intro, an ending, a signature. You can't just be like, okay, great. That's a text. That's not an email. And also, there's a lack of taking initiative. I feel like all the interns I'm bringing on and all the young people I'm working with are just doing exactly what they're told. I'll ask them, for example, I work in a lot of like marketing and social media fields, meta ads, you name it. I'll ask them to make a video. I've never once had them make me three and be like, I made these, pick your favorite one, let me know your feedback. Or they never said, okay, I love that idea. I'm also thinking maybe we could do this. There's none of that. It's just black and white to them. You guys have to start taking initiative. I just got my biggest retainer freelance client in the last week, my highest rate, my most exciting project yet in the last few months at least. And I asked him, I met with the CEO today. I had only met with him over Zoom. I met with him today and I point blank asked him, why did you decide to work with me? Like, you hadn't even really seen any of my work yet. We hadn't met in person yet. What made you want to move forward? And he was like, you took initiative more than anyone I've ever talked to, like more than anyone else in the interview process.
So what she's saying is completely right, and it's very funny because even after posting this video, when you look at her comments, because obviously I like to see the comments, and the comments give me some insight on if I want to react to it. And the young people were like, "Pfft, I'm not doing that. Pfft, man, skip that. When you pay me this wage, then that's when I'll start showing initiative." No, you're not. You're not gonna do anything different. You're not gonna be any better because you are who you are, regardless of where you at. And so for me, I'm going to deliver. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be awesome. And I don't care if I'm working at a fast food place or if I'm making whatever it is that I'm making my businesses, right? I am going to over deliver every single time. And it's so funny to me that, you have a whole new generation of people that, because there's always been lazy people in every generation, right? That's not singular to just the people in Gen Z. But you have a whole new generation where overwhelmingly it seems like everybody is lazy, and that will never bode well. It will never translate. It will never ever make you the type of money that you want to make. And people think that, oh man, wait, I'm gonna wait till the situation happen. No, part of the interview process is knowing whether or not you are the actual person. And I'm not just saying interview for the job. I'm saying interview for a contract, interview for an opportunity. It's your sentiment. It's how you carry yourself. It's what you post on social media. All of those things is a reflection of who you are as a worker, as a person, as an individual that get engaged, that do things that may or may not be for your benefit or whatever, but they can't see that. They can't see the future them. They don't even realize that this is a character flaw that translates into every aspect of your life. You usually, if you're a lazy person in this, you're a lazy person in that. If you're a great person in this, you're a great person in that. But again, you can't teach work ethic. You can't teach initiative. You can't teach the things that ultimately make you rich. You have to show it, and then they want to say, "Oh man, put me on." No, no, I got this out the mud. I built this out the mud. It's a reason why I'm where I am and where you at.
Process. All I did was I had my first initial call with him. I was very responsive leading up to that call, answering him right away. After the call, I sent him, he asked me to send him over like a few ideas. I sent him like 100 ideas. Nothing like crazy, but I sent him a lot of ideas, very well thought out. I put a lot of effort into it. And then I added some additional ideas and perspective. And then I also let him know other things that I could do for him if the opportunity arises, other things that I have experience in. And then I followed up 2 days later saying, would you like to meet in person? I knew the neighborhood he lived in. I said, we can meet at this time at this place on Monday afternoon. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And he told me when we got to the meeting in person that he wanted to bring me on just because of that email and just because I set the time and place and took the initiative. So I'm not trying to sound like a boomer or something and like talk down or anything like that. But if I get it, like I think it's a more anxious generation. There's an issue with taking initiative and all these things. But you guys, when you move into a professional setting, people love that. They want to see the hunger. They want to see the drive. No one is going to
She just got it. I don't think that there's an age demographic. It has nothing to do with being a boomer. It's lazy boomers, it's lazy millennials, lazy Gen Z, lazy people across the board. This has to do with winners and losers. Winners move a certain way, losers move a certain way, and you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between people that are that really want it, that's hungry for success. Like they'll do it for free, even though you don't have to do it for free. They'll do it for free. I remember we used to have interns where it was unpaid internships, and no matter where you worked at, like you was going in for free to prove to them that you deserve the opportunity to work for money. That don't exist no more. And I'm pretty sure that there'll be people inside of these comments that's like, ah man, forget all that. Ain't nobody doing all of that.
You to get everything right. They just want to hear your ideas. They want to hear what you have to say. I might not always feel like it, but they do. So try. If you're going into an entry level position, if you're applying to a ton of jobs right now, just try to take initiative, go into those interviews with ideas already in your head, and just do better. Because, oh my God, all the young people I've been working with that are like in college, straight out of college, it's not been great.
A lot of people are going to hate on me for this take, but I really truly believe that if you're a guy between the ages of 20 and 30 years old and you don't have kids, maybe you're not married, you don't really have anybody that depends on you, you should be absolutely grinding, working, doing all kinds of things, spending extra hours, attacking goals, and just setting yourself up, because one day you're going to be a lot more busy. You're going to have people depending on you. You're going to have other things going on. You will never have more time than you have right now. And
It's funny, in this video, I looked at his comments also, and there's people like, man, skip that. I'm YOLO. What's the point of being YOLO when you broke? What's the point of thinking that you got motion when you don't even have the capacity to be able to do anything financially? You know what I'm saying? And so I remember I was having a conversation with a guy, and I was, supporting him, and I was helping him out and all of this stuff. And he was actually older than me, but we were younger at the time. And so, he was going through a little transition in his life where basically he was getting divorced, and, his life was in shambles. And once he got free from his situation, he was just kind of chilling, and he was just kind of mulling around like, yeah, what am I going to do? And I'm like, bro, you should have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Yeah, I know your situation is messed up. Yes, I know that everything got jammed up. But you do realize that you have the opportunity of a lifetime to make as much money as you want to make, because you don't have anything holding you back. You don't have anybody trying to figure out when you're coming home. You don't have any situation where you got to worry about it. And he just didn't get it. He couldn't see it. It just never clicked in his mind for whatever reason. And I'm like, these people are crazy. These people are absolutely insane. But again, you can't teach work ethic. You can't teach hustle. You can't teach grind, bro.
just a big believer of not trying to act like you're retired when you're 20 years old.
Okay, so I'm always hearing about how cooked the job market it is and how nobody can find a job. Well, I'm an employer in this market, okay? I have a landscaping business and I have an employer account on Indeed. And I posted a job for them the other day offering for beginner positions $15 an hour, and for a crew leader or growth positions, people with experience $18 an hour up to $30 an hour, okay? This is untaxed. I send you a 1099 at the end of the year if you end up, getting paid a certain amount by me. So I get over 100 applicants on this job for them, all right? Out of all 100 applicants, 85 of them either don't answer my call back to set up the trial day, or they set up the trial day and I never hear from them again. They don't show up, they ghost me, they say they got a flat tire, whatever. I say, hey, send me a picture. They don't fucking send it, of course. All right, so there goes 85% of my applicants, and I would say 10 more, or probably 14 more, we'll leave one exception. They schedule the trial day, and then there is some form of issue. Either they're sick off of drugs and they're just trying to get a single day's paycheck, or they have a terrible criminal record, just shit that makes me distraught. I had a person come out to the trial day and say they were attracted to me. Okay, mind you, I'm 19. This was like a 30-year-old man, all right? I've had, people say they're homeless, or they tell me they have a ride in a place that they live at, and they're actually homeless and they don't have a car and they don't have transportation. So there goes another 14 people. They're pedophiles, criminal record, homeless, sick off drugs, withdrawals, and it's ridiculous. And then that one person that's left over, unfortunately, I didn't get this lucky, but sometimes that's your guy. That's the guy you'll be able to trust, and unfortunately, that wasn't me. I got 0 good employees off of this job application with 100 applicants, all right? So I don't know if it's me as an employer being the problem or if it's the job market, but in my experience, it's the people.
His situation is funny. I was listening to people respond to him. And they were just saying, oh man, I'm not doing all of that for $15 an hour. Then why did you apply? Why did you apply if you didn't feel like it was going to be the job for you? But again, I've experienced this in the restaurant industry. Everybody feel like they're supposed to make $50 an hour. I've experienced this in so many different situations. I paid a person $108,000 a year, and they was just lackluster, slacking, all of that type of stuff, right? So you got to be careful of who you bring into your circle, and very few people actually want to work. People just want to make money, and that's when you get all of these get rich quick schemes. Let me know what you think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.